Working on the door here, getting her all cleaned up. This bottom edge is perfect. That black paint job is actually over some surface rust. So take a sandpaper roll or Roloc or something over that, clean that all up. This door has cracks in it all over the place. At least a dozen cracks, I'd say. I'm working on welding that up in a minute. But first I decided to take this door mechanism off. It was working fine, but it was all gummy in there, and I figure we're going this far, I might as well clean this all up, get this working perfectly, get it all lubed up. Not really sure what to do with this. I'm thinking that this is just an oval, and this is an oval, and the rest was solid. I'm going to take the upper and probably the lower door panel off this so I can see how to patch that up. This here is like a typical, I had a socket or something. That's a Craftsman. That's probably making noise and driving the car around. But anyway, this here is a typical Wisconsin door. This is shot. And that's why we stopped working on this car. Nice. We could have patched this all up, but it just wasn't worth it. I'm going to take the lower off because I want to try to get this hole perfectly located if I can. Looks like we had a blue door here. This isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but big square in here. This looks a little bit different than the 73 door. I'll probably just patch the whole thing, make a pattern of this, and just cut it out to look like that. This track here, I've actually seen a bracket break off the back of them. But we have a slotted hole here, so this should be fairly easy to reproduce. You can see this door is also cracked in many of the same places as the door we're working on. Oftentimes you see people slamming the crap out of these to shut them, and just tears them up. They always crack right up here. When you're taking a door panel off, to get this off, make sure you have one of these. If you don't have yourself one, get one. Makes getting this clip off pretty easy. Here's a look at this bearing. I'm actually going to attempt to replace these on the door hinges on the 73. Spring's missing. I think we found it down in there when we had the fender up. Appears to be made in Taiwan. I wonder they left it in there. This bolter actually appears to be a factory bolt. So I'll probably be using these when I reassemble the car. I was able to kind of figure out what the angle of the dangle was. And got my patch in there. We'll weld that in and grind it. This hole certainly wasn't very round. I built this groove into it. Most of it will get cut out when I do this rectangle. So I'll weld that in there. Well, I got that patch all welded in. I think once it's ground down it'll look pretty good. But I realized I gotta go to the passenger side to get the proper template. I wonder if the passenger door is actually different than the driver's door. I've been working on it for about 3 hours now. I think I'm gonna knock off for the night. Pretty important not to overwork yourself on this stuff. I think my little jog here is gonna blend in pretty good with that. Get like a rectangle cut out of it, some of that, possibly another circle over here. This guy here had a crack coming this way, in the center, coming out that way. Top one was cracked. The door's at full strength now, just gotta grind down all these welds. Got the inside of this door all sanded down, got all my welds ground down. This is the angle, I gotta notch this. I gotta cut that out. I think I'm gonna go out to that parts car and take the passenger side door panels off. See if with 3 holes set up instead of with 2 like the driver's side. It is different over here. Glad I took that off. I wanted to see how long to make that slot. Plus I'm getting another factory bolt out of the deal I can assemble the other car with. I use a dirty finger pattern making technique. Cut this out with an X-Acto knife and see if I can get it transferred. I double checked my pattern and the holes aren't exactly the same in both the doors, but this is what I came up with. Get that cut out. about as good as she's going to get. Heck of a lot better than what it was. I'm going to knock the outside down now. I'm going to use the 8-inch 36 grit wheel. I would not advise using that strapping wheel like we did on the roof. I think that thing makes some heat. So I'll use that 36 grit wheel just to get down to the primer, and then from there we'll take it with the DA. That was a hardcore round of sanding. It should be a lot easier getting this car media stripped. That's not a convenient option for us where we're at. Looks like she actually wore through here. Careless passengers opening up into the curb. Also a couple minor imperfections in the metal. There and right there. So maybe a couple spot welds. Other than that, she's looking pretty darn good. Almost forgot, got my hole stuck in there. A 5/16 drill bit fit in the parts car perfect, so that's what I made the slot to. When I was cleaning this door out, the clip for the door lock fell out of there. Probably the original. I got some weld up on there. I'm gonna grind this down now so I can flip it over and get the other stuff. I want to have this ready to put epoxy primer on it tomorrow. I'm gonna epoxy primer the inside of the trunk and this door to seal them up. And I'm probably going to epoxy primer the whole interior and possibly the whole outside of the car. That bottom edge is welded and dressed from the back side of the door. I guess I'll point out a straight edge fits on here pretty good. Front starts curving up a little bit there. Shouldn't be too bad to dress that up. Got these two pinholes patched. Spent quite a bit of time on it, but I got this corner where I really like it. There's that. I DA'd down those sander marks. A couple slightly low spots for skim coat. This door was just seam sealed up here. And here, before I stripped it. So after this cures, I'm going to re-seam seal that. Then I'll re-seam seal up this trunk lid.